welcome back to my channel. Are you a Magic the Gathering player? I certainly have enjoyed many hours playing Magic the Gathering with friends and my wife and family. However, I have sort of come to understand that Magic the Gathering prices are on the rise. And I kind of discovered this actually through Tolarian Community College from the professor who I subscribe. And if you don't know him, I think you should subscribe. He's a really great YouTuber, full of information. I love him to pieces. But when he mentioned about this memo and how this could impact not only the value of our cards that we're putting out, but also the game itself and who can play that game, I thought, as an ordinary person who's not a Magic the Gathering YouTuber, who's not sponsored by anybody from Card Kingdom or anybody like that, just a guy who's an enthusiast of Magic the Gathering, how this is going to impact me as an ordinary person playing the game and a fan, which is probably going to be related to how other people are going to be impacted, and also what the professor mentioned. So for those of you that don't know, there was either a leak or a document that was released from Wizards of the Coast saying that they are going to increase many Magic the Gathering cards and sets and booster packs and so on and so forth. And there's been a lot of issues with Wizards of the Coast and how they price their various sort of products. You know, you would get some booster packs that are $4, or here in Canada about $4.25, sometimes up to $5, and then some that are like premium card packs, you know, that are from very highly sought after collections or sets, like the master sets. Those there can go up to, you know, $20, $30 a pack. So because you have all this wide variety in their different sales and different products, you know, bundles and so on, they're increasing many of these products by about 11%. And that can be outrageous in terms of cost. As a Magic the Gathering player, I've been playing since about 2015, 2016. That's when I really got into it. But like I was lucky in the beginning. I know a lot of people to amass a collection. Like there's a closet here that's just jam-packed full of cards, and I have cards sitting in front of me at the bottom here. I have a whole bunch of these deck boxes that I got that were fat packs and then became bundles. I have a whole bunch of them. I really love Magic the Gathering. I have amassed an amazing collection. I got in at the Khans of Tarkir block, and so I have like amassed an immense collection from prior sets that before Khans of Tarkir and then after. So I have a lot of cards, and a lot of money was spent. And I find it interesting that just in Canada, and I don't know about other places like in the States and that, but here in Canada, I go to my local game store, and I'm paying about $475 up to sometimes $550 for when a new set drops for a booster box. Now I know it's not well to buy just a booster box. You're not getting any value out of it, but I do draft with it, so that's why, and that's its intended purpose. So we do that. I buy a booster box. I buy a bundle, partly because I enjoy these boxes and the arts and things that come with it, and to see what's in the set. Usually that also comes with two battle decks or some kind of commander deck or something to go along with that. But that's damn expensive for all of that. These in Canada are going anywhere from $60 upwards of $70 for a bundle. That's outrageously expensive for cardboard, right? For cardboard. This is what this is. It's just cardboard. And, you know, buying a booster box can set you back $145, depending on how well the set is, all the way up to, you know, if it's a Modern Masters or something like that, you're paying, you know, $500-$600 for it. So that's outrageously expensive. And if they're increasing the price of all this, that can be a lot of money. So as far as I can see, Magic the Gathering has always been, I don't know about before I got in, but I'm sure it was even back, in the 90s and early 2000s, a premium product, a hobby that was expensive, that, you only kind of maybe got one or two of these things a year. Personally, when I was really, really, really into it and had a very active play group before COVID-19, I used to buy almost every single drop of new sets. And that's the problem also with this Magic the Gathering, is the number of products that are dropping. It's almost impossible to keep up because you have to be extremely financially healthy with lots of disposable income to be able to afford all the different packs and commander decks and battle decks and all these different decks that they bring out and different products that come out with Magic the Gathering, almost what seems like a monthly basis. And nobody has that kind of money, especially nowadays with the inflation that's going on, to pay for all this. Now, the reason why Wizard of the Coast is increasing their amount of money that they're increasing the product price is because they're citing, shortages and so on and so forth, with the pandemic, which is a reasonable thing. Many businesses are having trouble with supply chains and overhead costs and so on, because as a business you have to pay the higher cost of living, just like the rest of us have to pay with this high inflation that we're seeing. But where I find a problem, and I think a lot of Magic the Gathering players feel the same, and I echo what the professor said, is they had record profits. So while we're all having financial issues and are being squeezed, right? The middle class squeeze, as they're saying in many economic circles. We're strapped for cash, and they're making record profits. So I find it very hard to understand why they're doing this when the products that they're putting out, they know are already premium. They know that it's already at quite a steep cost to pay for these things, and they're just trying to get as much money as they can. Now, they're claiming that the products to make this stuff is more expensive. I don't know. And I remember reading somebody online saying, I don't really know how cardboard has gone up so high in price. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, but I don't think it's an 11% hike. So I don't know. I think what's happening here is Magic the Gathering is becoming such a premium hobby and such an expensive hobby that you're going to be essentially pushing out everybody. I know there's a whole scene of people that are doing, some other kind of card stock thing where they can print out their own cards. I never knew such a thing existed, because you're just playing in your own circle, your gaming circle. So why do you need to buy all this expensive stuff and keep up to date? It's impossible. I hate to be a standard player, someone who's playing standard. It would just be awful. How do you afford that? And so what's happening is Magic the Gathering community is being squeezed and squeezed financially, that eventually either Wizards of the Coast is going to have to make price cuts, or they're just going to go bankrupt, because nobody's going to be able to afford this. And I know I listened to what the professor said, that how they're just sort of pricing things to see how much people will pay for it. And that might be very well. I think as a community we have to stand up and say, we can't afford all that. We're not paying that. And that's the problem, as well, as the professor mentioned, is every time they do this, we still just buy it like crazy. And so they were incentivizing, right? This is capitalistic principles. We're just incentivizing them to do this again. So we're saying, we don't like it, but then take our money. It's the same, with other parts of industries, like in gaming and that, right? With loot boxes and DLC that's or hidden content that's now DLC that was in the game but now DLC, and all this other stuff that's going on, microtransactions. We all hate them, but then we shell out large amounts of money anyways in the beginning. And so how do you blame companies when we're just sort of making them profit from these errors and issues, and then just complaining and still giving them money? There's an issue there, right? There's a serious issue there. So for me, as a Magic the Gathering player, somebody who has greatly reduced the amount of Magic the Gathering that he has bought, in part because of financial stress, most of my play group, my old play group, and even my own family and friends that I play with every once in a while now that COVID and things are starting to dissipate a bit more, they maybe go 3 times a year to go buy products. Now, if the prices are going up, that might go down maybe 1 a year. Like, I might only get 1 a year. It might be all I can afford with the financial squeeze that we're under. So you're really sort of removing that large community and the appeal that you want more players in the game. I want more players in the game. It's a good game. It's fun. I want to teach my children it, but not at the cost of an arm and a leg, so that I can do that. And so this whole idea, this other market that's out there of just printing cards, and that might be quite interesting. I think something has to change at Wizards of the Coast. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I don't think they care. Why would they if they're having record profits? But it's pricing us out of playing Magic, and I think that is an injustice, and it's sad. So, with that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.